Hello Year 4, hope you're all okay and had a great weekend. This video is going to talk you through your writing task for this week. So this week you're going to be writing a diary entry. As you can see, your learning intention is to be able to write a diary entry. In order to do that, your success criteria is to use first person because you're going to be writing as yourself, so you'll be using I, which is first person. You need to be using a range of conjunctions, both subordinating and coordinating. Now, I know a few of you are probably thinking, oh no, I've forgotten what those are. That's fine. We're going to go through them in a bit more detail in a minute. You also need to include descriptive language, and we'll look at that a bit more in a minute. And your Alan Peake sentence for this week is emotion word, comma, sentence. And there's an example at the bottom. It says, exhausted, I reached the top of the hill. There should be a full stop there, so I apologise for that. Well done if you spotted that. So all it means is that you use an emotion word at the beginning of your sentence and then a comma, and then you continue the rest of your sentence. So it's quite straightforward, but again, we'll go into a bit more detail with that in a minute. So this week, as I said, you're writing a diary entry. Now, there's not just the one video that you're going to focus on this week. You're going to have a look at a few of them and then base your diary entry on those. Okay, so they're short videos and they're all videos of various animals doing Olympic sports. Okay, so they're a bit weird and they're a bit crazy, but they're quite good and they're quite entertaining. So I think you'll like them. So you're going to write a diary entry as if you went to the Animal Olympics and you watched the animals doing the Olympic sports. Okay, so you can base it on the animals in the video if you want to, or you can even make your own up. Okay, the more creative, the better, I think. But as usual, we have set a guideline of what we would like you to do each day for your writing tasks. Okay, so it's the same as the previous week. So we'll just recap it quickly. So today you're going to watch the videos. Like I said, there's more than one today, so you'll be able to watch a few. The ones on the website are the suggested ones, sorry. Those are the ones I have seen, so I know they're okay for you to watch. Check with a parent if you click on any other videos first on YouTube, because I don't know if they're okay for you to watch. So just look at the ones that I put on the website unless you've asked an adult or have adult supervision for you to watch any others, because there are quite a few online. So watch the videos, brainstorm your ideas as usual, and what I would suggest you do is actually look at some Olympic sports. So I put a link on the website where you can look at all the different Olympic sports, which there are, because there's loads, and then you can kind of decide on which ones you're going to write about in your diary entry, so which ones you pretended that you went to see, and also think about which animals are going to be doing the Olympic sports. So whether you're going to have a diving giraffe, because there is a diving giraffe in the video, whether you're going to have snails doing a relay race, or ostriches doing gymnastics, whatever you want. Okay, like I said, the more creative the better. If you're really stuck though, just base it on the videos which you've seen. That's absolutely fine. So on Tuesday, you're going to plan your piece of writing. So again, it's just quite a simple template I've put together for you, which you can use if you want to. So it's just for you to jot down which animals you're going to use, how you're going to describe those animals, which sports you're going to include in your diary, adjectives to describe the sports, your emotion words, which you can use in your Alan Peake sentence, and conjunctions, which you may use. Okay, so it's just a template to put your ideas down in preparation for your writing. So then on Wednesday, you'll write up your piece of writing. Remember to refer to the success criteria and use the waggle. Okay, it's there to help you. You may magpie ideas from it. Thursday is where you'll edit and improve your piece of writing, and Friday is where you'll publish it, or you may do the challenge. So if this kind of guideline works well for you, doing it in this way, then keep going using this structure. If you've got another way you like to do it, then that's fine. So just to recap, your learning intention this week was to write a diary entry based on your day at the Animal Olympics. So like I said, use the videos for inspiration, which means they can inspire you to think of other animals. You can copy their ideas from the videos if you want, or make up your own ideas. The more creative, the better. Okay, so just recaps our success criteria here. So we're going to go into a bit more detail with each one, just so we're really clear on what we need to include in our diary entry. Now, first person, I haven't gone into detail with that because you know what first person is. That's when we just refer to I. So I was really excited. I watched the giraffes high diving. I watched the elephants compete in the race or something like that. Okay, so you're using I. pretend you actually went and you're just writing it in your diary. Okay, that's how you use first person. So descriptive language, these are kind of some ideas on how you can use your descriptive language. So exciting adjectives, remember to use your alternative adjective sheet if you can't think of anything exciting. Try using some similes, they're always good. So that's where we compare something to something else. So as fast as a cheetah or something like that. Expanded noun phrases, you know what those are. Those are where we have one or two adjectives before a noun. So the towering, magnificent giraffe, for example. So you have your two adjectives before the noun. Onomatopoeias, those are where the word is the sound. So like crash, bang, whoosh, things like that. And alliterations, those are when you have a few words which are together with the same beginning letter sound. So like maybe mischievous mighty monkeys or something. I don't know, it's hard to think off the top of my head, but you know what I mean. So if you want to pause the video in a minute, I want you to have a think of how to describe a snake using the descriptive ideas up here. So see if you can use an expanded noun phrase to describe a snake, see if you can use simile, alliterations, onomatopoeias, and exciting adjectives. Pause the video now, see what you can come up with. So hopefully you are able to think of how to describe a snake. Maybe you could use those ideas in your writing, hint, hint. So let's move on to conjunctions. So conjunctions are just joining words which can link together parts of a sentence. Okay, so we're going to look at coordinating conjunctions first. Those just join two clauses together in a sentence, okay? But the clauses need to make sense on their own. So down here you can see, I had a terrible cold, I still went to work. So both of those clauses still make sense on their own. However, you can combine them to make one big sentence using a conjunction. So it says these two sentences can be joined, or it should be by using but. So I had a terrible cold, but I still went to school. And remember, fanboys, we have gone over this in school. So these are the most like common conjunctions you can use. So you can refer to this with your writing. It's on the website to see how many you can include in your writing. You could have also put, I had a terrible cold, yet I still went to work. So that one would also work. I think that's the only one, but make sure you have a look at fanboys when you're doing your writing, because you might forget about a coordinating conjunction, which might work really well in your sentence. So before we go on to subordinating conjunctions, can you think of your own sentence using a coordinating conjunction? Pause the video and have a think. So now let's move on to subordinated conjunctions. So this is where a subordinating clause is a part of the sentence that adds additional information to the main clause. So you have your main clause and a subordinating clause, and your subordinating conjunction always goes at the start of your subordinating clause. Sounds very complicated, a lot of complicated words, but it's not. And we have done this before in school, so it should come back to you. So you can see here it says, I went to the hairdresser, I needed my haircut. The main clause is I went to the hairdresser. That is your main part of the sentence. The extra part of information, your subordinate clause, is I needed my haircut. So your subordinating conjunction is going to go here after the comma. So it says by adding since, we can link the subordinating clause, I needed my haircut, with the main clause, I went to the hairdresser. So then it will become, I went to the hairdresser since I needed my haircut. And remember, with subordinating conjunctions, they can also be used at the beginning of the sentence. So you can switch your subordinating clause round to go at the start of your sentence. So you can see here, it says, since I needed my haircut, I went to the hairdresser. And that still makes sense. I've just switched round the clauses. So you have your subordinating clause first, and then your main clause. So I hope that makes sense. And remember, I saw a wabub. So these are all your subordinating conjunctions which you can use. So like I've just said, you can use them at the beginning of a sentence or in the middle after your comma at the start of your subordinating clause. So now we've gone through it, can you think of a sentence using a subordinating conjunction? See if it works at the beginning of the sentence and in the middle. So have a go at that now. So hopefully that helped and you're a bit more confident now with your conjunctions. The last part of your success criteria is your Allen Peet sentence. So we have Allen Peet emotion word comma sentences. and that is just when you have an emotion word or a feeling word, so about how you're feeling, followed by a comma and then the rest of your sentence. So there's two examples here. Amazed, they watched the acrobatics at the circus, and excited, she ran to the park to see her friends. So amazed and excited are both emotion words or feeling words, and then you have a comma and then you have the rest of the sentence. Obviously it does need to make sense, so you wouldn't have put excited, she did her homework, unless she was excited about doing her homework, but it's unlikely. So make sure it does make sense in the sentence. So now we've gone through that, can you think of your own emotion word comma sentence? So pause the video and have a go. So now we've gone through kind of the grammar side of your diary entry. Hopefully you're really clear and confident on what you need to include. Before we look at the waggle, I suggest that you pause this video and have a look at some of the Animal Olympic videos on the website first, because that I think will help you understand the waggle a bit better. I think you will definitely like them, they're quite funny. So have a look at those and then come back to this so we can look at the waggle together. Welcome back. Hopefully you enjoyed the videos as much as I did. So now we're going to look at your waggle. So remember, you're writing a diary entry about your day at the Animal Olympics. So I know my waggle is quite long, however, this is just because I thought the more kind of I put in there for you, the more there is for you to magpie and have a look at, and it should help you. Obviously, it is quite a lot, so if you just want to focus on doing 1 or 2 paragraphs which are really, really good and achieve all the success criteria, then that's fine. I just chose to write quite a few, just like I said, to show you different ways of describing and using your coordinating and subordinating conjunctions, and just kind of give you more ideas to magpie, really. So I'll read it through and then we'll go through and pick it apart. So, dear diary, today was finally the day I visited the Animal Olympics. While I had been looking forward to this day for months, I was also apprehensive about what I might see. When I arrived at the huge monumental Olympic Stadium, I was amazed by the variety of animals. Ecstatic, I searched that stadium to see how many incredible animals I could spot. The first sport I watched was the diving giraffes. They were brilliant. The towering, slender creatures ran towards the diving board and leaped into the air. Whoosh! Astonished, I held my breath as they tumbled gracefully through the air. After I had seen the giraffes, I watched the trampolining hippos. It wasn't quite what I expected, yet it was still a terrific sight. Since the hippos were so heavy, they didn't seem to be able to jump. The trampoline sunk down to the floor and they simply glided gracefully around the gymnasium with the trampoline. Fascinated, I couldn't take my eyes off them. Next on the schedule was the sprinting orangutans. While their legs were not running very fast, their long lanky arms were used to get them rapidly across the track. Some of them were as quick as a cheetah. After I had seen the unusual and curious orangutan race, I made my way to the Olympic swimming pool to watch the pandas' synchronized swimming performance. The delightful, charming pandas were marvelous. Their performance was smooth, refined, and exquisite. While my day at the Animal Olympics was coming to an end, I still had one sport to watch. Elated, I sat impatiently for the last sport to commence. I had been waiting all day to see the elephants' gymnastic performance. Since the gigantic, colossal elephants were so huge, it was hard to imagine what an elephant gymnastic routine would look like, yet I was dazzled by their performance. Astounded, I watched as they were as graceful as a swan, as nimble as a gazelle, and as agile as a jaguar. Exhausted, I made my way home after my action-packed day at the Animal Olympics. I had such an unbelievable day, so I will definitely not be forgetting it for a while. So like I said, I know it's quite a lot, however, I did want to give you lots of ideas and kind of give you lots of examples on what you could include in your diary entry. So in red are all my subordinating conjunctions, light blue are my coordinating conjunctions, my Allen Pete sentences are in green, and my descriptive language is all in blue. So as you can see, there's a lot of descriptive language in this, and I think that is the key part of this, because you want to make it exciting. So you want to include kind of as many expanded noun phrases as you can, and similes and What else did I include? Onomatopoeias. I've got whoosh here. So the descriptive language is the key to the diary entry, I think. And as you can see, the first paragraph is very short and it just kind of sets the scene about what's happening, what you're doing, where you're going. And then the next 3 paragraphs talk about what you saw. So you may want to have a think about what you're going to see and then think about how you're going to describe that in a bit more detail. Rather than just listing loads of different things you saw, maybe just focus on 3 to 5 maybe, and then write about them in more detail. I think that's probably the best way to do it. And then the last paragraph is, well, it's just 2 sentences. It's just kind of to end the diary entry. So kind of reflecting back on the day you had at the Animal Olympics. So as usual, I'll put this on the website for you if you want to have a further look at it. I hoped it helped. So now I hope you enjoy your writing. Remember to check the resource on the website, and I will look forward to seeing your final pieces. On the website, like I said, there will be your subordinate conjunction word mat, so the other one, can't remember which one I just said, and the waggle, and lots of other resources to help you. So make sure you use them because they're there to help you. If you have any questions, then please let me know and I will get back to you as soon as I can.